something. Shh. We shouldn't be talking about this.
Welcome back to another episode. We have episode 32 ahora. For all those Spanish illiterates, that'd be 32. Duolingo.
Oh my gosh, sponsor us.
Yeah, Duolingo, we love you.
I love your chess edition.
Yeah, we're kind of in chess
I've been in the chess mode.
Learning
really
all the
fun.
moves.
And I think I'm starting to understand it a little bit. And I'm like, whoa.
It's
You've
really
been doing the chess for how long and you're just now understanding it?
But sometimes, like, it just tells you to do things and you're, like, not really sure exactly why you have to
Yeah,
move
like
this
you're not
piece
getting the next
there. And, like, it's just, and then
Well,
it's,
it
like,
usually
something.
tells you. At least once you get further in that lesson or something, like it. Like
It does tell you.
Like,
Or like,
what's an
See,
example?
I'm not good about reading what they're trying. I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna go do it.
Do you ever turn your volume up while doing it?
I do, but usually I try to finish it before they stop talking. It's a bad habit. I'm sorry.
problem numero uno. Glad we figured that one out quick.
It's
I'm
what's an
impatient.
example?
What's an example?
Yeah. What moves are you doing that don't make
Like when they want you to move a pawn forward 2 spaces, and then you move your knight, and then you move your
literally protect your pawn?
Yeah.
No, but I didn't understand why I needed to move the pawn in front of my king specifically.
Oh, it's so your
No.
queen has
Yeah, space to move.
move,
And
yeah.
then so eventually you can castle your king.
mhm.
Yeah, I gathered that now. But at the time, I was not it did not process. It did not make
They
sense.
get
So
you there. They get you there. They just need to get you through like
You
steps
build.
1 through 100.
yeah, because like I would keep trying to move the one in front of my queen, and I would not understand why it was so like mad at me for doing that specifically. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just do the one in front of the king, and then it finally clicked, and I was like, that actually makes sense.
Good reason. Good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not to get too sidetracked here, as chess is a great game, and if you haven't played it, you should give it a try.
It might seem difficult and scary at first, but like it's really not.
Embrace it. Yeah.
Like you don't have to be good.
You don't. You just need to know how each piece moves, and then
go from there.
Seriously.
Because basically nobody knows what they're doing except for like the pros.
Yeah, this is true.
Everybody else is just winging. If we're being real.
Yeah.
No one
That's
actually
true.
knows things.
And
Chess
honestly,
is like English. It's a game of fraud, you know? Like who can BS the best almost.
this is true. You mean chicken? A game of chicken.
No, it's like English. Like English class.
But then you said a game of frog.
Fraud.
Oh, real? Okay.
Who can BS the best? Like
No, that's real.
who
Yeah.
can write the
And
most
I
random
think
crap
chess,
on a piece of paper and make it sound decent. That's English. Like
yeah. I think chess is easier than learning a language. So if you're not into learning a language, you can use Duolingo still. If you suck at math, you can use Duolingo.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to learn piano, you can use Duolingo.
Mm-hmm.
Versatile.
I'm ready for ASL, bro.
Me too. Oh, I so badly.
You would think that would have been one of the first things they expanded into, but I suppose it is probably really difficult.
It probably
just
is.
considering that they don't use any real humans except for like, the voices.
They don't use real humans, and it wouldn't even be right. It wouldn't be voices. It'd have to like all be videos and stuff like that. So till AI,
which probably would make it more expensive and therefore not.
Yeah. I know you guys haven't watched the new season of Ginny Georgia, but this has nothing to do with the new season. But like, Max and I know I could just say Ginny and Georgia in general. My bad. Okay, I'm hyping up the new season.
A little bit more.
Hyping up the new season. But Max and that get her twin brother, I can't ever remember his name.
Marcus.
Marcus.
Marcus, thank you. Their family. And like watching them do sign language, it just makes me like, I want to
Yeah.
know. I want
Yeah.
to know. It's such a unique language.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's not why I want to know. It's very beneficial, I feel like. Because I feel like even if another person speaks a different language, you can still find a way to like minimally communicate with them, sometimes. But like if they're deaf, hard of hearing, and they use sign language,
Oh, I was
like
like,
that's
I know. I thought this was going in like the sign language is like
me
versatile for
too.
every
Me
language, and I'm
too.
like,
It's really
I
not,
know
but
that it's
okay.
American Sign Language, and like there's
no. I know there's different types of sign language.
Yeah, and I was like,
And I thought you're also trying to get at that, like you can
no, I
communicate with
understand
like
that.
non-English speakers through
But
sign
yeah,
language.
otherwise it really does just fall all on the other
Yes,
person.
yes, to be
Yeah.
able to like read
Either
lips and then like have
Yep.
like a notepad or something like that, or
Yep.
your phone to write stuff with. Yeah.
And like you can't even imagine how frustrating that lifestyle would be.
extremely.
No doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. One day maybe they'll add it.
Do you
Maybe.
think ASL is as easy to pick up on as a foreign language if you're immersed in it still? Or
No.
do you think it's more difficult because it's like
I think it's more difficult because it's
physical
visual.
Mm,
You know, like you can be immersed in a language and like
and
be
hear it
constantly
and just
hearing
like
it.
practicing it?
Yes, and your mind like just absorbs that, but like
yeah.
watching something consistent, I just don't think it's the same.
It's different levels of processing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I almost feel like you have to rewire your language part of your brain
To pick up on
to pick
visual
up on
not
visual cues and translate that to language than like auditory cues.
right. Now, granted, like
Yeah.
a lot of when people talk, like they do hand
Is
gestures and stuff,
visual.
and
Yeah.
so that is partially visual, but you also rely on
Hearing, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like the hand gestures aren't conveying languages, more so like
Emotion.
tone and emotion and
that's
stuff
true.
like
That's
that.
true. That's true. Unless like you're pointing.
Yeah. That would be. Yeah. But that borderlines on like sign language to me then. That's not a hand gesture. That's like
You're like, I want some tea and crumpets.
what are crumpets?
No clue. I figure they're kind of like scones or something.
Yeah,
okay.
maybe. I don't know.
Or like
I was hoping they were like biscuits. Something I
But
don't
like
know.
tea and biscuits? Because biscuits for them are cookies.
Cookies, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't care enough to look it up.
True.
Anyhow, back to our original topic for this episode 32, in case you forgot. One away from a rebrand.
Yes.
Forgot.
Join us next week.
For an exciting
No,
episode.
I'm kidding.
So
Lizard explosion.
to subtly call out that one that they know they are. That's there long enough. We are going to be talking about
Relationship
relationship.
progression.
Yeah, timeline-ish progression. I like progression because it's not on a timeline.
Yeah.
Progression.
And what we
Cycles?
that sounds like it's going over and over again. So that just sounds like
Yeah, but most
ebbs and
people they go
flows.
through several relationships before they enter the
yeah.
But okay, I guess we're not talking about that. We're talking about progression
Yeah,
from the
assuming you stay with
the
your
final
girl.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
Valid.
Progression, like
The
what
roller
we
coaster.
think should be the amount of time in each stage, kind of thing, is what we're
Yes.
saying.
Journey of a
We get a
relationship.
lot of our opinions.
Not that we're right, but
but
if
No,
you don't
just get a
agree with
lot
us,
of
you're wrong.
opinions. And to the one that is out there,
Who
we're right
knows
on it.
who they are?
So, First off, I'd like to start off with the first date, right? Whether
Wait,
it's like,
don't we have to talk first? I'm
Yeah, what
confused.
about the talking phase?
well, that's my thing. That's my thing. Whether it's a blind date, you've been talking for a hot minute, what have you. I don't know who really goes on blind dates anymore.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't know
brave if
if
you
it works.
do. Like, especially in our day and age when
Yeah, yeah.
Catfishing, kidnapping, serial killing,
Well, in my head, I'm more thinking it's like friends that like.
catfishing, serial killing,
No, it's like
kidnapping,
someone who knows two people who don't know each other, and they're like,
serial killing,
okay,
you're still, yeah, it's still there.
okay.
It's still
Anyhow,
there.
kidnapping,
that's fair. That's true. That's fair.
rape.
That's true. But I mean, like,
Trafficking.
essentially, that's literally what you do when you go online dating, and then you're talking to these people, and then you meet up.
Yes. I don't
Yes,
disagree. But
exactly.
I mean, you can expand that to anyone. I mean, anytime you meet someone new,
Yes,
you don't know their background, who they are, who they could become.
Unless
Like,
if you've run a background check on them and you are the stalker, then you know.
oh, plot twist.
Ooh. Stalkers stalking each other.
A stalker stalks somebody, but like they're getting stalked.
Stalked.
Like how does
Mm.
that work?
Yeah, how does that work? Like, wouldn't you realize you're
At some
stalking
point?
each other? Because if you're stalking, you're paying really close attention. So, like, you're gonna notice they're
Maybe
also
not
paying
24
really close.
attention.
And then also like if you're stalking somebody, they're going someplace and you're following them. So like
So, like, they're gonna follow each other.
yeah,
No, but one of them could be
It's
like
gonna be a
off duty
circle.
kind of deal.
one of them could be
So,
what?
like, one of them is a daytime stalker, and one of them is a nighttime
Nighttime
stalker.
stalker.
Oh.
Oh, real? The nighttime stalker is gonna get nothing because the person's gonna be sleeping.
You're assuming that person doesn't have a nightlife, though.
We're gonna be up in the club.
True, I guess. But every night, like, you need some
No,
sleep,
but
please.
maybe they're into some shady stuff as well. Like maybe they're part of like
Mm,
I don't know.
Right.
Mafia.
scary.
Maybe they're like a hitman.
Speaking
Oh.
of such things,
That would be a pretty
I'm
interesting.
just gonna
book.
give a quick shout out since Tegan did a Ginny and Georgia shout out. I'm gonna do the Mortician shout out. It's on Max. It's good.
This
The
is so
Mortician?
random, but okay.
Mortician.
Oh, guys, I watched Straw.
Oh!
Dang.
Now we all watched it.
Wow.
Did you
guess
cry?
I did
catch up
not
on your
cry.
episode.
I was
No,
like,
you
if Tony
had?
cried, then it was the ultimate, like.
I was making food though, so it was kind of like
Oh.
So you weren't
So
like
she was chopping
watching.
onions, and she wasn't crying, but
I actually wasn't chopping onions,
I'm
but sure.
joking.
Interesting.
Just joking.
Interesting.
Like I was definitely watching it and paying attention, but it was frustrating.
Yes. Yes.
But I also I don't think I was expecting to see everybody be on her side at the end. And also the end kind of started to confuse me as well. So
Let's not do spoilers for anyone who wants to watch it, maybe. Or do we not care?
we don't.
Spoiler alert! Tune away for like the
Yeah.
next
If
5
you plan
minutes,
on watching Straw on Netflix,
and you haven't seen it
Good.
already.
Good.
tune out.
Okay.
A
Wait. Then
little
what
bit.
confused you, my G?
Like when they were doing the mixture of flashbacks, like with reality, and I was like, wait, so her daughter was dead before this all happened, and then
At
she
the very
did all
beginning.
this anyway, and it was like,
It was like
so you're just mentally ill, hon.
yes, she broke.
She
That's the
hadn't-
thing. Like it was her last
I-
straw.
I-
No,
Like
I
yeah.
thanks, Captain Obvious.
You're welcome.
But I guess my point is more like, how did nobody stop her before she went and did all that? Like, if someone's child just died, why is your mother not there for you?
It seemed like they weren't that
It
close.
seemed like they were perfectly not close, but her mom definitely was around.
Here's
She
the thing,
was
though,
like,
is like
"Mom, you
it was
know how it is. She needs her medication. Mom, you know how it is." And she's like, "She's dead."
yes.
Well, I mean, maybe she brought her daughter home. Brought their daughter home
I thought
after.
that grandma was at the hospital. I thought they show her like in the background.
Yeah, I
She's
think
at
she was
her
at.
house, I thought, and the FBI was raiding her house.
Yeah, and I think they got her on the phone and like told her like, "Hey, this is the situation that's going on. We need you to like."
Yeah, and you just said she was at the hospital. So what?
Yeah, I'm saying I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure like the night
No, the
before.
hospital happened the night before
No,
you
I
sent her
know,
to
I
the
got all
hospital
that. But I'm just saying, like, why would you leave somebody in a time of need like that?
to go home and sleep.
Yeah.
You don't leave. A,
My
I mean,
assumption
you
is
don't know
that
the
like
relationship,
no, we don't know the
right?
relationship. It also didn't seem like they were that close because like when she had talked to the bank manager about like leaving her daughter with someone while she went to jail, she had brought up like the mom and she's like, "No, I don't want her around that. Like I don't want her around my family and stuff."
Yeah, she did bring that up.
So
I
like
guess they didn't go into
they didn't go into
why
why
particularly,
or like the
but
big depths on that, but she just said she didn't want that influence on her daughter. So I don't think that they had a very close relationship like
and
that.
I still don't think it matters, is my point.
I guess like I don't know. I mean, you would think they would be fine going to sleep and you could check on them the next
Like the
day.
next day or something.
And maybe that was the plan and she stopped by and she wasn't at the apartment, so she just went back home and assumed like she was out or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Mm.
I
What I'm
mean
saying,
it's
though, I'm just saying from my perspective, it's why weren't you there for your child?
yeah. I mean
No,
it's
and I get that, but again, I just don't think they had like a close relationship like that.
And again, I'm saying it doesn't matter.
Okay.
When
to
a
you.
loss that big happens,
Yes,
To
that
and
you.
like Keegan said, to you.
100%.
Like you don't know how other
I
family
fully
dynamics
agree.
work for other
Like,
people.
I would have been
Not
there for
processed
whoever that
stuff.
would have been. But maybe for them, there was something that happened and it was like, that's just
yeah,
not a
but
place
maybe
for me.
that's just why I couldn't care as much, was because it's like there wasn't enough backstory for me to have emotional ties to the characters themselves, but I could get frustrated by what it was representing.
That's what I was frustrated about. That's what made me cry. It wasn't the character themselves.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would have preferred a longer movie that allowed me to have more care for each individual character. Because I feel like that'd be more accurate representation.
I think I was disappointed by the end because I feel like they really threw that in there and it kind of felt like it
Wait, threw what in there?
interrupted her daughter dying and stuff. And that she was just like on like psychotic at the moment.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Like it just kind of felt like it interrupted the point they were trying to
Doing,
get
yeah.
at, like the racial issues and stuff. It just kind of felt like an interruption to that. So it was a little disappointed. It also gave very much vibes like this whole thing happened and then the character wakes up and it realizes it's all just a dream. Like that was kind
Mhm.
of and
Yeah.
that was kind of just like I don't know. I didn't vibe with that part too much, and I can see why that would then cause it to be harder to connect with the characters and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
up until that point,
It was
that's
good.
yeah,
It was really
and
good.
that wasn't my perception,
Really
and, like, with
frustrating.
everything like, with her daughter being what she thought taken away from her, her
Mhm.
boss being the biggest jerk ever, oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Seriously.
That frustrated me so much, and then the cop literally threatening to kill her,
Yeah.
and the other cop not doing anything about like,
Mhm.
that made me so mad. Oh my gosh. But yeah. I don't know. I think the ending. I think they messed up with the ending. I do agree with that though. Personally, I think it takes away from the story and the
Yeah.
meaning.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But all in all, decent movie.
Especially because, like, yeah. Like, I
Because,
mean,
because it almost just gives like it gives like we need to give a reason that this black woman would never have done this under any other
other
circumstances.
circumstances.
And it's
Like,
like
if anyone had gone through the stuff she went to without the passing of a child the night before, anyone's, like, last straw would have snapped
Yeah.
yeah,
with that kind of
right.
situation. So, yeah, I
Right.
agree. I guess, like, yeah, the child dying was not.
Yeah.
It felt like an excuse where an excuse wasn't needed.
Yeah.
An explanation, I suppose. Yeah.
Right. And you know, I think I realized like maybe half-ish way through the movie that it felt a little weird because every time she would describe why she's doing what she's doing because of her situation, it was always I need to give my daughter $40. And not once did she bring up they took my child from me. Not
Yeah.
once. And I was like, I feel like that's something I would fixate a little more on.
Yeah, but I think
once
in
she was
her
in the
head,
bank, that's when she started. When she actually told the whole story of what everything happened, then she did
yes,
say,
yeah.
and
Yes,
then
But
that
yeah,
was
I
daughter.
think part of it
yeah,
was also
right.
that she was like fixated on the part where it's like maybe if I just given my daughter the $40, like they
Yeah,
wouldn't have
maybe.
called, and like I can take care of her and stuff like that.
Right.
So
No, I
yeah,
get that. I get that, but it's like
There
that
was
was
more than just that. Yeah.
right. Like that was a small part in it. I like the
Like if you wanted
$40.
people to actually care more and like like
Right.
really
Like I
like
need you to like when she went back to her boss and was like, I need my check. Like just give me my check. Like why was it I need to give my daughter $40 and not they're literally taking my daughter from me and unless I prove that I have my apartment still, like I won't get her back.
yeah.
Like I feel like no matter how big of a jerk you'd be, it'd be like, okay, take your check.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm sure there's probably some jerks out there who still would be like, not my issue. But
Company policy goes
right.
in the mail. It's like fine, put it in the mail and go hand deliver it to my mailbox right now.
Right.
Right now. Okay? Then I pick up from mail. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a very frustrating movie that was a very accurate depiction until the end, and then I was just kind of like, you kind of lost me there.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree with that. I do agree with that. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, that was off topic.
That was really off topic. I don't,
Yeah,
what were we talking about? I just remember you saying, "Oh, I watched Straw."
Going, yes, first dates.
We're talking about some other
So
movie.
Oh, were we talking about another movie?
Did someone else?
Oh, Jasmine was talking about the
Honorable
mortician.
mention, yeah. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I watched.
yeah, straw. Yeah. So anyhow, for that 20-minute little derail, back to dating. First dates. First dates. See, in my opinion, a first date should be an
Again,
activity.
how are we at a
Yeah,
first
you
date when we
skipped
haven't
the walking
met
stage,
the
girl.
person, we haven't talked to the person?
Okay,
Let's talk about how long the talking stage should be.
personally, I don't think there needs to
Eliminating
be
all
talking
those
stage.
random people who decide to go on a blind date. You are excluded from this situation.
Okay. So if like if you're in a dating app, personally, I feel like the talking stage does not need to be that long. Maybe that's just me. 'Cause I hate dating apps, and I'd rather just like communicate face to face. But like,
Yeah,
if you already swiped right, you're already like in the zone where you're like, I'm willing to meet this person.
I think it's more of a I'm willing to get to know this person.
Because I feel like there's just simply not enough information, no matter how much you decide to put on your bio and your dating profile, to like
About you.
convey who you truly are and like all about you. I feel like there's so much more that you can like your 3 interests you decide to put on your dating profile, you have more than that. You do
Yeah,
more than
you can
that.
definitely put out the best parts of yourself as well.
Right. Yeah.
And so I feel like truly like talking for a little bit, getting to know, oh, how does this person talk in conversation? Calling, because then they can't have the time to think about their response. And if they do, then you know that they're thinking about it like that.
That's true.
Things like that where you can kind of like see where the discrepancies might be.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I think getting to know them more, seeing if you have some sort of chemistry when you talk, because there were people that like I swiped right on and we had a lot of similar interests, but the moment we started talking, it was just like dead, dead. And it's like, bro, I'm trying here. Can you give me more than this? Like, how's your day? Good. Okay. Can you tell me about your favorite thing you do? Oh, I like to work out.
I love how we went to gym, bro. Like, bro, what?
I feel like that's a classic guy response, even if they don't work out. Like, it's just, I love to work out. They want you to think they work out. It's like, bro,
Like, I'm
I
a
don't
gym
care
rat.
if you work out. Like, just
No.
like, tell me about yourself.
I swear it's
please.
that or it's I fish.
Yeah, I
I'm
fish or
like,
any sport they play. I love
Sport.
watching sports. I love playing video games. Like, come on, don't you have more depth to you? Please. Please.
yes.
Like,
Okay, but what if they were to be like, I love playing this specific video game for this very purpose, and it was low-key meaningful? Then what?
then that's see,
That's
if
fine.
you
But like,
give me
how long
more
are you
than I love
playing?
playing video
What's
games,
the
I'm
priority of
down.
like playing the game?
Like, you
Stuff
want to
like
tell me
that.
I
Like,
love these games? This is why I love playing these games. I don't even care about the games, but because you're telling me about something you're passionate about, I'll be like, okay, cool. Give me that. Like, that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's
give
more
me
what
the
it is.
passion,
Like,
Yeah.
the enthusiasm.
Yeah.
passion,
Like,
more
let me know
passion.
that you're willing to share yourself.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, get a
because
little vulnerable.
what is the
we might.
point?
Mm.
But like, I know, like, when I started talking to my boyfriend now, like, our conversation was kind of dry at first. And then it wasn't until I brought up Marvel, and then all of a sudden it was like we like clicked on Marvel, and we just like rolled from there.
Wow,
I feel like
hadn't.
I know, right?
What if?
That'd be crazy. Right? What if? That's good. Celine. Make it an episode.
Yeah. Wait, that would be kind of cute though.
That would be.
That would be.
Like if you did a comic, but like, ugh, wait,
That'd actually be kinda cute.
wait.
Okay.
And then like of like your pictures over the years or something like that,
Mhm.
and be like, because you could do like a what if we hadn't clicked over Marvel, right? And it would just be
Yeah.
like
Right.
ends or whatever, right?
Right.
Ends after the first dry text or something, right? And then
Yeah.
you're like, but thankfully we did. And then it's your
That's
pictures over
actually
the
cute.
years.
Cute. Ending in a picture of an engagement.
If
Yeah.
he wasn't gonna
photo.
listen to this, I would so
Exactly.
do that as like a gift. But
It can still
Do it
happen. He
quick
doesn't have
before
to
the episode
know.
comes
True.
out.
That's fast, Judge.
And also it could be like in a
He'll forget about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Eventually. And then
Yeah.
I'll do it.
So
You're right.
anyhow, so
Once there's an
now
engagement
we
photo
have
and,
established a connection with this person over text and or chat and or FaceTime.
now we start the
Now
first
we
date.
start the
Yeah.
first date. Now my thing is let's do an activity. Obviously I feel like food should be involved because everybody needs to eat. And I feel like how they eat in front of you is like a good sign of who they are as well.
Yeah.
I feel like you can tell a lot by how someone eats around someone they don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
What do they order? How are they? And it has to be a sit-down restaurant. It has to be.
Yes.
You need to know how they're going to treat the waitress or the staffing in
Mhm.
general. Like,
Mhm.
what kind of tip are they leaving?
What kind of
Are
tip
they
are they?
trying to
Yes.
split the bill? Or are they trying to pay for the whole thing? Are they
How
going to
they
try
deal
and
with
make you
different
pay?
situations. Like, is their
Exactly.
thing they wanted on the menu no
Not
longer
there
available?
anymore?
Or
Does
did
their
they
food
mess
come
something
out a
up?
little wrong? And exactly, how are they going to react to
They
that?
gave you regular fries instead of those sweet potato fries that they're going to charge you an extra $2 for?
Mhm.
How are you going to react?
Ooh, speaking of how they're gonna react, always find a way to get into a conversation where you say no to them about something, because I feel like it's so important to know
how
how
react.
they react to you saying no to them.
That's a good point.
Because some people can get really reactive, and that's a red flag. That's
bye.
in your face red flag.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
So,
Or like if you find a way to just be like a little bit clumsy or something, even, and just like see
yeah.
what happens. Like,
Like, you don't have to be your best. In
No,
fact, you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't be your best. You want to
see how they take care of like you if you might have like accidentally got hurt or something, right? Or like,
Yeah.
oh, you
Right.
accidentally spilled something either on your own clothes or theirs. It's like, do
Right.
they get mad at you for it, or are they like, oh, hey, I saw this place down the street, let's go check out some clothes over there?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, like how
Exactly.
do they change on the fly?
Like, how do they treat you? Because you're not going to be perfect. And if you try to
No.
be perfect, and then later down the road when you really can't be perfect anymore, and all of a sudden
Take
it's
off your
like,
face and makeup in
who
front of
are
them.
you? Ugh.
Exactly. You don't want them saying that.
Exactly. That's why I don't wear makeup. No, I'm just kidding. That's not why. But
And then I
I
feel
put my
like
true self forward.
the important thing is like, do you bring up kids on the first date?
Here's my
Oh,
thing.
that's
I
like a
feel like
big
it
topic.
depends on, especially like if you're on a dating app, what your category is for the type of relationship you're looking for. Like if it just says like fun, casual, then I feel like no, let's keep this
right.
entertaining. If it's long term, looking for a lifetime partner, then definitely yes, we're bringing up
Yes.
what your future goals are. We're diving deep because I don't have time to be messing around.
Right.
with
And
little petty
if
children.
we're factoring in that we're talking about the progression of an end game relationship,
Yeah.
then I would say absolutely yes. It should be brought
Yes.
up. Brought up.
I feel like it's almost like an interview at that point. You're like
Yeah.
asking them like, what are you looking for in a relationship?
Yeah.
What's your ideal person? Like,
Mhm.
who are you?
Do you want to get
know,
married? Do you
what
want kids? Do you
they-
want pets? Where do you want to live?
exactly. If we don't click on my most important topics, it's easy. You're a no.
Yeah.
I don't have to waste months like
Yeah.
going through like all these dates and stuff like that just to find out
Mhm.
that I like you, but like we're not compatible in our future.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Like,
And
you should
then-
have a list. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and then just be one of those people that like week before the wedding, you find out that one of them doesn't actually want
Right.
children, and you
Exactly,
are like
yeah.
a diehard, I want kids.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely don't want
You
that.
know.
But
Yeah.
I definitely think you should have a list of your deal breakers, like things that
Yes.
if they don't have this or want this, then it's like no, and you have to ask those questions. Because if you're looking for like a marriage out of this relationship, and this person's like, "Oh, I don't believe in marriage."
Yeah.
Well, okay, good to know.
Right. Like
It's
that's
nice
not
meeting
how
you.
I align. Right.
We can be friends or something if you
No.
enjoyed hanging out with them, but like, it's not gonna be romantic.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. My therapist, and I kind of like this. She says that like before you like, go on dates and stuff like that, or before you meet somebody, make a pros and cons list of like who you want to be with. So like, pros are like everything that like you want for your future, and like things that like are your deal breakers more or less, right? Like
Yeah.
I need them to be Christianly, I need them to like, want to get married, what have you. And then your cons are like, okay, if they like do these things, like for me, if they hunt, if they fish, like you're a no. You're a no.
They listen to country music.
Ugh, no. If your favorite thing's country music,
Yeah.
it's a no. If you don't like dogs,
Oh,
Yeah,
like
you know.
it's a no.
Or just don't like pets in general.
Or just pets in
Yeah.
general.
I feel like if you're only a dog lover, that's still kind of like a
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
true.
right. Especially
like-
if you're a golden retriever dog lover. Are you really a dog lover?
Exactly. No. Mm-mm.
No. You just clearly want like a little child to hang out with, like a little toddler.
Yeah.
Like no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So true. But yeah, I feel like it requires you to really dig deep into yourself as well, though. Like, you really have to think about, what do you want? I feel like people don't think about that enough.
Right. Yeah. And they don't.
No,
Yeah.
it's not something you're taught to think about.
It isn't really something you're taught to
No,
think about.
true.
And I feel like when people don't think about it and then they like start dating, especially if they find someone that like they start liking, a lot of their aspects on certain things will like change to try and fit with this person. And then all of a sudden you're realizing as you go down the line, you're like, well, wait, I don't feel that way anymore because now I'm tired that I'm not having it like this way and this way, and then this won't happen because I do actually want it to happen. So I feel like the whole pros and cons list idea for her was just that like you have your set needs and you're going to go into this with that. And then based off that, then you know when to draw a line.
Right.
Be like,
Right.
you know what?
True.
I really do like
So
you,
true.
and we hit like 8 out of 10, but I'm looking for 10 out of 10 because these are like my basic core value kind of dealios. And then that's when you're just like, maybe another time if we're both available and things change, but you know.
No, so true. So true. I feel like that's a good point. Like, it's essentially having boundaries for yourself. Like, like I need to know when, like, this is just not right for me.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people so badly just want to jump into a relationship that they'll just give up those things that they really care about to be in a relationship. And it's like, that's...
Yeah, because and especially at that point, like your brain still is like conscious of like maybe this is a red flag, but like your gut's kind of like, I'm just so happy right now. We're going to euphoria this and just wipe it away because it's whatever.
Right.
You know, maybe it's just us overthinking.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. Okay, so is it just dinner then, or do you do an activity afterwards?
I think it would be fun to do an activity either before or after, honestly. Just because like it gives you more time to chat, but then to also like be interactive with like a whole situation, you know, and then like you also have more things to talk about, joke about, other things might come up, you know. Yeah,
I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah. Plus you're spending at least like 4 hours at that point, like 3 or 4 hours with this person. And I feel like that's a good judgment than if you just sat down for dinner. It was like a 40-minute dealio.
Yeah.
You know?
And then like that's like the time where it's like, okay, now I'm done. Time to leave. Go home.
Exactly. And that's why I feel like you should like wrap up with dinner because it's like I'm full. I'm good to nap or go to bed or like I just want to go throw the sweats on, right? Stretch out my little baby belly or my food belly. But yeah, so I think starting off with something. I think the cliche of like dinner in a movie is just that, a cliche.
Don't do a movie. Not for your first date.
You're gonna talk about like first you're not talking during a movie. You're not looking at each other. You're not interacting at all. It's like you're sitting next to a stranger at that point.
Yeah.
And then you look at the stranger and you're like, let's go get dinner.
It's so awkward. Just don't do it. Don't do a movie. Don't do a movie for your first date.
Maybe a few dates in and it's like something you realize that, like, you actually like maybe you're both Marvel fans and the new Marvel movies coming out and you're like, yes, let's go watch it and then debrief after. Because cute. Hella cute.
Yeah.
But this is not a first, second, and not even a third date situation.
Don't do it.
No.
It's just, it makes no sense.
Eye contact is important.
It is.
If we're not seeing each other consistently, and this is like my third time seeing you, it's not going to be in a dark room where I'm looking at a screen.
Yeah. And it's like those first few dates, you're really trying to get to know this person and determine, do I actually like them? Are we compatible? Like, do I see this going any further? You can't do that with a movie when you're looking at a screen and watching something else happen.
Agreed.
Like, it's just...
The only thing I could see you connecting over with a movie is asking them if they were to choose a movie for you guys to go see, which one would they choose? Because based off what they pick, that
it's a good conversation topic.
But we're not going to go watch it.
But we're not, Nah. Like, you want to go watch it on your own and next date we talk about
fun.
it? Cool.
Exactly. That's
down for that.
But
that's a great idea.
That'll be
I really like dinner and bowling. I think bowling is fun.
I feel like you are lightly to this.
Yeah.
No, I've done it
because
twice.
You could compare that with like bowling, mini golf, or even like a top golf situation. Or
no, that's fine. That's fine. Any sort of mildly competitive thing, but not overly. Like those things that people don't do frequently enough to be. And okay, most people don't do it frequently enough. I know there are people who do it plenty good enough. Like, but to be mildly competitive, because I feel like you get the banter and you get like the fun kind of side of it and the fun side of them as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Okay,
have to be
here's
bowling. It could be
my
mini
thing.
golf.
Here's my thing. Is so I feel like yes, bowling's a good idea. But like first date idea, I don't know because like if it's just you two, right? Like someone's gonna be bowling, like at every point. Like you're
Yeah.
not like sitting on the couch together. So like it in my head, I would say like something more like mini golf is more of an appropriate kind of
Sure.
deal because like you can stand next to each other while you do it. You can like, like talk about different angles, which way you'll go. And like, it takes like, and then you can like slowly walk from like one hole to the next hole. And like, you're doing that
I mean, I
together.
get.
And like,
I mean, I've done bowling twice as a first date, and I think they both times is fun. And I don't think I ever really. You don't sit down much. Like you stay standing. That way
like
you can
yeah,
keep
that's true.
conversation going.
Going. Yeah.
But yeah, mini golf is a
just
great
seems
idea as
awkward.
well. It seems
What'd you say,
awkward.
Billy?
It just seems awkward. Like you're just both standing there, like, oh, okay, yep, your turn. But I'm gonna just keep standing here.
I don't know. I feel like for me too, it's like just like this mental thing. Like at least like if you go like because like if you go to like a little golf course or something like that, like each hole looks different, and so there's like a little challenge, a new challenge, I guess you could say. Like I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. You're just like going down the alley because it's for me because I need to like. I don't know.
I'm like, I'm not following Jess, but okay, sure,
That's the way my
sure.
brain
We're
works.
all different. That's fine. No,
Yeah.
I feel like both are good. I'm trying to think of another example, and I can't think of one right now.
I know. Okay, how do you feel about? And honestly, I think this is a really cute idea. Now we all know I don't support zoos or anything like that. So going to like a flower garden or like like something like that, and like just like walking around, and then or a conservatory. That's what I was thinking of because that has like birds and like
Oh, sure.
Butterflies and stuff.
yeah,
You,
yeah.
so you could go
So
to
going
a
to like a
park and walk
conservatory.
around.
Yep. You can like learn, you can walk around, you look at things, you can talk about things. And like after going out to eat, we've been doing like a little picnic. Like a walk in the park
Yeah.
picnic type of deal.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I feel like picnics they feel like intimate. Like I don't know if I could do it as a first date.
Mm.
Maybe once we get to know you
Know each
more. I
other a
don't know.
little
There's
bit more.
just something about like
'Cause somebody
sitting
has to
down,
bring the
eating like
food.
homemade food together.
Yeah.
Like
It doesn't have to necessarily be homemade. Like you could like go pick it up from a store or something or a restaurant and then like
that don't feel
Then
like
at
a
that point,
picnic.
like, is it a picnic?
I guess
Or if you're
true.
just
I guess
choosing
that's
to eat
true.
out
Might
on
as
the
well just eat out.
grass?
Yeah,
Like on the
exactly.
patio.
You know?
I get
Like,
you.
I feel like
Okay,
it's the
that's
whole
fair.
thing. That's like
That's true. That's a good
Yeah.
point. Good touche. Touche.
It's cutie. It's 100% cutie. I don't know if it's like first date. I mean, I could see it as a second date or a third date or something.
But I feel like
Okay.
going to a conservatory is like similar to going to a museum.
Yeah,
Yeah,
museum.
there you go, a museum. Here's my other thing though is could you not also compare it if you went to like an amusement park? Because think about this, especially if you go to an amusement park, like you're guaranteed to wait in a line where you have to talk.
True. I mean, as long as you're both like going on rides, then
Right,
Right,
absolutely.
yeah, and stuff like that, yeah. And then like you could like
Yeah.
sit together and then like you go through the ride and then
And
you
don't
talk about that
lie.
and like
That would be my number one tip. Don't freaking lie, bro.
oh yeah, no.
Like, it makes no
Right.
sense. Like, I'm sorry.
Just literally be open and honest. Now I will say that it's
It's
probably
embarrassing
one downside.
when a person will come in and it's like, oh, what can I get for you, right? And they're like, well, I've never been here before. Like, I actually don't drink coffee. What do you recommend? And you're like, oh, okay. And then you like help them through, right? And then they go sit and it's like, okay, whatever. And then like 5-10 minutes later, another person is like, I haven't really been here before and I'm not really a coffee person. What do you recommend I get? And I'm like, I just had this same interaction, bro. What is that? And then you see them on a date and you're like, make that make sense.
Yeah, like why are you guys here?
Make that make sense. Why are you guys here?
Go somewhere.
Why
At least
are
one
you
of you
guys
knows.
here?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm cheering you on because what do you mean? If your first date's here, I hope your wedding's here. Like, come on now, let's go. Like, we want the yearly update. Like, I don't
Yearly.
think people realize that when they enter a person's place of work and like it's only like 4 people who are like working closely together, you gotta go back and keep those people updated. Cause they know. They
True.
see you.
True.
They see
I
you.
know. Well, there was this one time I went out to this restaurant and our waiter, I forgot how it got brought up, but like he pointed out like this one couple that was over in the corner, and he's like, "Yeah, they're on a first date." And we thought it was like the cutest thing. And we're like, hopefully it's going well. And he's like, I think so. They've been here for like half an hour already. And like they're still like kind of munching around and like talking and whatnot. And like they were there like around the time that like we left and we had like just gotten sat down. And I'm like, that's really adorable. And then every so often I'll think about that. I'm like, I wonder if they're still
Exactly.
together.
Because that's what
That's
happened. Was
cute.
like they were there for hours. Like, kid you not, from like for like 4 hours. I was like, well,
Aw.
clearly it's going
That's
well.
cute. Yeah.
Well,
And then they were
yeah, or one
standing
of
by
them
the
just can't
car
figure
and
out a
they
way
just
to
kept
get away.
talking and all that. And
Right?
it was like,
I was like, I need the avalanche call.
Yes.
but no, because they were both laughing and stuff.
Oh, that's
Yeah, no, I'm just joking.
But no, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
no, but okay. I feel like that would be one downside to like an amusement park date, especially as a first date. Maybe it can't be a first date because like you're meeting someone more or less for the first time, and like what if all of a sudden like you're in the middle of a line, you're like, no, this is not it, and like what do you do? Like, I think I'm ready to go home now.
I'm not feeling
I was like, I feel like
Yeah,
the
that's
amusement
true.
park is an easy place to
That's
like.
a
I'm
good
not
point.
feeling
Yeah.
good. This
I think
heat
that
is
last one
like
really got me
making
turned
me
around.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
like
Good
can we
point.
get out of here?
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
I do agree because I feel like, or at least with like how we grew up, like you go to an amusement park, you go all
All
day.
day.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that would be hard for
Right,
one
yeah.
of us because it's like, what
I'm
do you
wasting my
mean I
money.
paid like $40 to get in and I'm only going to be here for 2 hours?
Yeah.
Right.
That's not acceptable. I'm going to be here all day.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I get the most out of the money.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
true.
yeah, so don't lie to your people.
Don't
Okay,
lie.
just
Don't
be
do that.
honest. Otherwise, you're gonna put
Yeah.
you both in an like you're gonna be in an awkward
Yeah.
situation in which you both don't do whatever you just gone to go do, but y'all lie because somebody said, "Oh, this is a great date spot," and you're like, "Oh, well, I don't like it, but if it's a great date spot, okay." And then you say,
Yeah.
"Oh, what if we go here?" And then they're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, well, they must like it then, so I'll just
Yeah.
say yes to see if I
Yes.
would do." Like,
Fine.
just be real with yourself.
Like you can find a spot.
Yep.
Yeah. Facts.
I don't know.
Facts.
I
Also,
feel like we should.
biggest tip for women, first dates, he does not pick you up. Or they don't pick you up. Honestly, either way, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know with
Yeah,
any.
go by
any
yourself
particular.
because if you need to leave, you need
Take
to leave.
yourself there. Take an Uber there. Something. No, they don't pick you up.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Uber, because I feel like with an Uber, then it's like, then you're
You have
like,
to wait
oh,
and call
yeah,
for
you
an
have to
Uber.
wait, and then they're like, oh, I can just drop you off. No,
Right. It's like no, thank you.
no,
That's a good point.
no, and then it's awkward, and it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care if you have to take like the whole like
Or you can take
mom
an
and
Uber,
dad
but
coming
just
on
don't
to
bring
like,
it
a
up.
date, like you take a friend with you and they kind of just like hang out
Sit in the
area.
background. Yeah, you can do that.
yeah.
Share your location. Please be safe.
Yes. Be safe out there,
I
children.
feel like this
Send
is
the
common
information of like the
sense.
Don't
people,
just
like,
share
the people
your
going on a date
location,
with.
but maybe updates every few hours.
Yes.
Hour or every like
Hour.
hour or so,
True.
yeah.
Every hour. And you can even tell the person.
You can get far in an hour, so
We can. This is true.
So true.
You can just send like you can be like, I'll send you this emoji every hour if it's like going well or something. Or
Yeah.
just like I'm fine, going well. It doesn't have to be anything long.
yeah.
Something quick. You know? Okay. I feel like we should get off the first date because
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
we got a lot to go, guys.
Well, what's next? Like,
I think the next
The
stage is
dating
going
stage.
from
them out?
casual hangs.
Casual hangs.
Like okay, here's what I mean by casual hangs. I mean like by like scheduling dates and going on dates to being like, hey, you free after work? You want to like come over for a bit? Like,
So dating.
yeah, okay, I guess. Yeah, I guess so. Dating. Yep, that's true.
Okay.
Casual hangs. Dating.
So, where
Yeah, I
are
guess
we
it all
going
depends on
with
the relationship. But I
Let's
feel
say
like
we've defined
if
the
you're not,
relationship.
Well, how long do you take to do that?
that's true.
Oh,
How long is too long for defining a relationship?
okay.
I'd say 3 months.
I was gonna say 2 months. Anything beyond 2 months is like
Yeah.
too long. Like
So
you
what are
need
you
to,
waiting for?
yeah.
At that
Like
True.
point?
if
What
you
are you
haven't
waiting
figured it
for?
out at
I
then
guess
that
it also
you,
depends on how much you're hanging out. Like if you
yeah, I
have busy
guess.
Or how busy your
schedules
schedule is.
and you're only meeting like once a week or less than that, then like I could see maybe taking a little bit longer or something. But
Now, here's my thing with
ideally,
that.
you'd be still talking, calling, things
Right.
like that, where it would make
Right,
up for it.
exactly.
So I don't know.
That's true. My thing
I
with that
still
though
think two
is it's
months.
like it's that so far your schedules haven't aligned. Like you've looked 4 months out and you're like, yeah, this weekend is the only weekend that's gonna work for the both of us soon. It's not, hey, are you free this Friday? Yeah, totally. Oh wait, no, now I'm not free. Like, can't like reschedule and like you're going like doing this back and forth thing? No.
I think I got lost. What?
I got lost too. I don't know
What
what
are you
is
talking about right now?
being
I'm
said.
saying like if you can't meet for a while, I feel like a red flag is when like you have to keep canceling and rescheduling.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I feel like if someone cancels on you more than twice, be done. Like two, fine. Three,
Like
third
what?
strike, you're out. Like clearly,
Especially if
either
it's in a
something is not
relationship.
is
Yeah.
like your love life is not being prioritized, and if at that time you're looking for a long-term relationship, that's not the person for you then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or
Like,
you just don't have good time management. Like if it didn't work
yeah,
for you from the get-go, don't lie to me. Like so
right.
don't lie.
Hmm.
Just be straight up. Like, yeah, no, that
Yeah.
doesn't work for me. I'm sorry.
Or they're trying to dodge you and you should
Yeah.
just
And you
let it
don't
go
want that.
anyways. So
Yeah.
just like just be done. Like three
Take
strikes,
the
you're done.
hint.
Like on the third time and they're like, sorry, I gotta cancel this time, and that's be like, that's fine, you canceled for the rest of your life as well.
And I think since y'all have your own places, at what point is it, hey, you can come over rather than meeting out in person?
Oh, I feel like that is situational, like how
I definitely think that's
comfortable you are.
situational, but I feel like that's like into dating. Like we're through the talking stage, we've defined a relationship, and we've been like, I feel like within the first month, I feel like is like a good point. I feel like you should feel comfortable with this person within the first month.
Yeah, I would say on average, like by a month of dating
Yeah,
would be fine.
yeah. Because
It
you've also given them the enough time to get comfortable enough with you to be like, I know this person. I know they might be a little messy, so I'm preparing myself to see their place.
true. True. Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'm thinking more like for me where it was not don't think we're long distance, but we're like that
Yeah,
medium distance.
there's different.
Where it's kind of like you kind of are forced into that situation because it's like I don't know if you're driving that amount of distance to see each other. Like I'm not just staying there for 2 hours and then leaving again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like it's like you're kind of just forced in that situation. So from that standpoint, I can understand. But if you're like around the same area, I would say a month.
yeah.
Unless you're like an overly messy person and you don't know how to get it together for a night for someone to
Yeah.
come over or something.
Or
Or
like an
leave.
overly organized person. You don't want anyone touching your things or like
True.
messing up, like,
Yeah.
you know, or like some people
We've
even
got
like
some issues.
Yeah, I
OCD.
was about to say,
That,
like,
like,
if that's you,
if it
then I
isn't
think you should
you,
know that you need to
it
work
definitely
through
would
that
be you.
before you
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, because at
Now
some
the
point
only reason
the
I could see
relationship
it,
would move in together, right?
Yeah.
So
true. I mean, the only reason I could see it going past a month is if like one of them had like an animal or a pet or something that either the other one wasn't allergic to or isn't comfortable being around.
Yeah.
That's the only way I could see it going
that's fair.
past a month.
Yeah. Okay.
Which
That's
I
fair.
feel like, yeah, is a fair enough reasoning. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's if you live
Like,
alone,
you
right?
find a
So if you
space.
had
Yeah.
roommates or something, it'd be a different
It
situation.
would
That
be a
is so
situation.
situational. Like, it depends on your roommates, it depends on
Yeah.
space, it depends on blah, 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 blah,
That's
blah.
the
Yeah.
reason I said because you guys live alone.
Yes, that's valid.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for anyone out there who's planning on trying to stalk, I don't actually live alone.
Right.
That's
Anyways.
right. Because you guys live with 20 other people.
Oh, it's okay. I got a security system and a dog, so
Y'all
I got
both do.
2 dogs.
And two
a
people
security.
living with you. So, like,
right.
you guys are chilling.
Exactly.
I have a maid that comes and checks in every day.
Okay, so define the relationship within 2 to 3 months is what we sound like we kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
generally.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're dating.
Mm-hmm.
Dating. How long is too long before? I mean, okay. So at this point, if we're going based off like a relationship that we've started that we wanted to move into the future,
Yes.
like marriage,
This
how
is
long is
the
too long
goal.
before you get married, or before you get engaged?
I was about to say, wow, we're
Yeah, I was
skipping
like-
2 steps. Wow.
Because
Wow.
I feel like a 2.5 to
Wait,
3
too
year range.
long?
Yeah,
How
too
long is
long.
too long? I feel like
How long is too long? Well, you can talk
Yeah.
about both. What is too early and what is too long?
That's why
Also,
I
you
feel
can.
like
When do you start talking about marriage?
okay. Again, I
6
thought we were talking about
months?
this on like like within like the first date. If we're like talking
Well,
to
no,
marriage.
like,
Oh, no. I mean, like
open
Oh,
marriage is one thing,
yeah,
but like
yeah,
talking about
I get you.
marrying that
Getting
person,
married
us,
to that
yeah,
person.
like people
8
be like,
months. 8 months, because 6 months is
That's
still
good.
technically honeymoon stage, right? So like
But
you gotta get out
yeah,
of that and like
you know,
clear picture. 8 months.
wow, I was not expecting that.
dang.
8 months, she said.
For like, I mean, idealistic, I suppose, but like in reality, as soon as you feel like that's what you want, like
True.
if
Yeah.
that's within like
True.
I mean, honestly, yeah, I
4
think it can
weeks,
get brought up
then
at
that's
any moment.
like when the
Yeah.
vibes are vibing, and that's what the
Okay,
convo's
then what is
about.
too long before you bring it up?
Oh, a
I think,
year
okay,
or a year and a half.
I think is that it should definitely be mentioned at least in like passing, like, ugh, I really
Yeah.
want to be with you forever, like
Yeah.
something like that, like
Something to the extent of like I
within
see a life with
6
you.
months, in my
Okay,
opinion.
I
Just
agree
because,
with
like,
that.
yeah, you're in your honeymoon stage. You should want to
You
feel
should
that.
want to. Right,
And
exactly.
if you
I
don't, that's
agree.
concerning.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay,
I
agree
think
with
that like
that.
a year and a half, 2 years, if you're not already like around that stage,
A year
that
and a half?
like I know.
I think Judgment has different timelines. It's okay.
No, okay, here's my thing though is like right, like they say like the average is 3 months, that's how I can hide like who they truly are. So then at that around that 3 month stage, you're still in the honeymoon technically, and now you're actually starting to get to know each other and like the more comfortable selves of each other, right?
Yeah.
And so then I feel like to get adjusted to that takes some time. Now we're getting more comfortable, like ebbing and flowing in like a normal routine of life. I feel like you have to kind of give it that little period where like you're coming off that honeymoon stage and you're kind of seeing like how a day-to-day routine with this person will look like when you're not overly happy and giddy every single day kind of deal. Like you need to give it. I feel like you
Yeah.
also need to get through the holidays. I feel like that's a big one. And that's why I say like a year and a half, because I feel like you have to go through the holidays with this person to really understand how well you'll work. Because I feel like those are big moments. Those are moments where you find out, is this person a family person? Or are they like, I don't want to, like, I have no joint bone in my body kind of dealio, you know? Like, and then the other thing is like, if you don't celebrate the same holidays, are you willing to celebrate the other person's holiday? So that's why I say a year and a half, because I feel like you do need to experience those things. And then based off
But
that,
all
you're
that
like,
would happen within a year.
more or less, yeah.
Maximum. Maximum a year.
Maximum a year, I know.
If you happen to start dating like
But I was more giving it that
January
buffer period
every
because like
holiday.
you don't spend you
No, right. You
I'm more saying like you don't spend like the first few months holidays together. So if there's any holidays like
You know, and if they all happen to fall within that amount of time, you have birthdays and things like that. Like you have family functions, something else.
I'm saying though, right, if you start dating and within like the first 3 months that you start dating, like maybe you're not inviting them to all the family functions. You're not inviting them to all the
No,
birthdays.
that's fair.
That's why I'm saying like a year and a half.
But
Now
But
you
then
like
you
I
don't need to
feel
go to
like you
every single holiday.
no, I don't
of
think
the
you need to
year.
go to every single one. I'm just
No, I'm
But I
saying you don't
feel
need to
like
experience every single one in order to get a feel for how they would be within a
Okay,
holiday.
here was my
I
thing.
feel
My
like
thought was like if you started dating in like September or something,
no,
like
we
you're
get
not
what you're
spending
saying.
the bigger
Yeah,
We get
holiday.
what
we
we
all
understand.
definitely understand what you're saying.
I
It's
don't
just that
think you
after that
need
3 months, you still have Valentine's Day after that, Easter, you have Fourth of
Memorial Day.
July, Juneteenth, you have birthdays, there's other major events that happen
I agree
post
with that.
any
So
I
3
agree with
months.
that. Go ahead.
Sorry, Tina, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if it's the are they family oriented kind of thing, I feel like you don't need holidays for that. I think you can tell if someone's family oriented aside from holidays. Like, do they care to reach out to their family? Do they talk about their family? How do they talk about their family? Like, I feel like that can all tell you whether or not they're family oriented on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean like my whole thing more was like I guess it doesn't apply to everybody, but like with Christmas. Like I feel like that's a big holiday that I feel like everybody needs to go through that time because one, it's a stressful time for most people. Two, you get to find out like how they prioritize their money. Do they have enough money to spend on gifts? If they don't, are they going into debt on these kinds of things? And is that how your future is going to look? Like they're going to
Hmm.
prioritize like spending
So financially,
loads of money like on this stuff, and then like how because that's like a big holiday that people have to split, right? Like how are you
yeah.
guys going to like
I
show?
guess it depends on your mindset. Because for me, like, yeah, I want to spend the holiday with you, but until we're like engaged and or married, like, be
That's
with your
normal.
family if that's what you want.
Okay.
Like, if we feel like we need to spend the holiday separately, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it depends on the type of person you are, because sometimes it's just
Yeah, it
like,
depends on your family too, because like our family
yeah,
goes all out for Christmas.
yeah, like our family celebrates both days and we
We
go
cook all
crazy with
day.
food and everything. And like same thing with Thanksgiving. Whereas like with my boyfriend, like they're like more chill, just hang out, lay on the couch, and then
Which sounds nice.
dinner at 3 or something. Like,
Which sounds great.
Insane.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, it just really depends on the fan. Like, because I think that's why it's like for me, I'm like, I don't care if we spend it separately because I know I want to be with our family because we genuinely celebrate these holidays and we put a lot into it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I enjoy our family bonding during that time and everything. And I love the food during that
Mm-hmm.
time.
Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, let's just speed through this. We can go into more details on stuff another time if we want. We're already at an hour. So we can all agree around a year and a half is where we're figuring out. Yes, this is where I actually want to marry you, and we're actually talking about this. Is that what we're saying?
A year,
A
yeah.
year.
Year.
Yeah.
Okay, about a year.
Okay.
So how long is too long before getting engaged? Like for me, I feel like you should be getting like if you're going more than 5 years of dating. Honestly, I could honestly say like more than 3.
I was gonna say,
No.
yo, 5 years?
I think it depends on your
I think
age.
it also depends on your
Okay,
age.
true. It depends on your age. It does depend on your age. Because Sully's sitting over here like,
3
I
years,
started.
be
I
so
think it
for
depends on
real.
your age. But I also think you're not really at that stage to like get in a relationship where you're like, I'm going to want to get married with this next person I date until you are closer to being an adult. Therefore, 18, 19, 20, 21. Like when you're around that age period.
Okay,
You
here's
know?
what I think. If you start dating someone at least 2 years before you graduate college,
Mm-hmm.
then
Okay.
I was trying to think of it like, because you'd
Then
be
what?
like 20-ish.
You'd be 22.
Then 2 years before you graduate.
Oh, you'd be 20.
Maybe
Yeah.
20, yeah.
Then like a 5 years slash around the time you graduate would be like
A good
Yeah.
amount.
A good amount of time.
like get engaged. Because like I'm thinking if it's been 5 years, like you're 25ish. If you started dating earlier than that, then like you've already been dating for
Yeah.
like
Plus that like no, that would be a good amount of time. Plus that like gives like the period of adjustment where like you graduated, finding jobs,
Exactly.
kind
yeah,
of rest, and now
exactly.
we're kind of starting to build that life.
Yeah.
And now we'll
Yeah.
kick it off with doing that like legally bonded together in our decisions.
Right.
And, like,
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
That's what I
I
think.
can agree with that.
But if you
you're
start
out of
dating,
college and like you've got your life, like
yeah,
I
Yeah.
know what I'm doing.
On the tracks. They're on a
Max
set of
3
tracks.
years, yeah, like
Yeah.
max
Max 3 years.
maximum.
which means you should really be proposing
Ideally this.
to
Still.
20.
But because it's like
Are you dead?
because it's like you're already at that age where it's like you have your life and like you're settled in your life. So like
Slowly.
bring it
Slowly.
together. You know? We're laughing real hard about this.
This game just keeps playing.
You're welcome. But yes, I agree. Okay, now here's my next thing: is your engagement period should not be more than a year.
I
Correct.
agree.
Because it's actually proven in like studies that if it's more than a year, you're like
You're
not getting married.
You're more likely to not
To get
ever
married.
get married. Yeah.
Weird.
And it's like, what was the whole point then? Plus, I
Yeah.
feel like the engagement period is expensive. So why would you want to be in it longer? I don't know.
What do you mean it's expensive?
Because you gotta pay all these people. I don't know. Maybe actually it's probably about the same. I don't know. There's just something that feels like it would cost more.
To be engaged?
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
I'm really confused.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like booking venues and whatnot?
No,
Paying for
I
that?
don't know.
Yeah, that's
Just
embarrassing.
like
So anyhow, planning a wedding and getting married, it should happen within a year. Now, I am not against having a small wedding or a big
No.
wedding. Now,
You
do I think
do.
you should lay down like $100,000 on a wedding?
No.
Definitely not.
That's a house.
whoa, what?
Right.
That's a house.
Personally, yes.
Judgard, you could have gone way lower and I would have agreed. 20 grand?
20
Too
grand.
much,
Fair.
guys.
20 grand. Okay, but here's
That's
my thing
smaller
is
than
like
the
I
house.
was including like the cost of like the dress and like the tux and like the
Yeah,
venue.
I
and,
am.
oh, okay.
You can get these things for cheap.
Well, I'm also like in today's economy.
Nah, if my wedding can't be under 10 grand and ideally under 5 grand.
No, I agree. I'm thinking of more of like the people who are a little bit more spendy. I'm saying like max
Yeah.
25 grand. Like this is
Yeah.
like right.
I mean, I guess it depends on how much money you have to spend on it. Like,
Yeah. And it also depends on how many guests you have.
and also sometimes parents set aside that money
Yeah.
just for their kids to get it. Like, then that's like,
True.
okay,
It's
they
true.
set aside that money. I know, but
There to be
it's a very big thing in other cultures
some
too.
cultures,
So
yes,
it's like I totally understand that. Like,
Totally get
I-
that.
you know what? Cultural wedding, like other than American culture, if you
Are
even call that a
amazing.
culture,
No.
I think they're so
Beautiful.
beautiful.
I think
Like,
they're so beautiful. I think the typical white dress American wedding is just like, eh.
yeah.
It's like, why?
Like, what are
Yeah,
you
it's so
telling me?
bland.
This Nigerian family is handing over.
You just muted
Yeah,
yourself.
you can't. You
Oh, there we go.
cut
Can you
out.
hear me now?
There you go. Yep.
Mhm.
What are you telling me? This family's handing over wads and wads of cash to this bride, and it's a tradition.
That's not what I meant by beautiful, but
No.
okay.
What are you
I meant
telling me?
their
We're, like,
their outfits are so
throwing-
bright
Their
and
Like,
like
outfits
they have like these
look,
choreographed
just-
dances going
Yeah.
on.
yeah, the dances and the food is just it's just all so lively
'Cause
and
to me, it's like an American wedding is literally like I'm showing off to you that I am getting married, and
yeah.
then we're
It's
gonna
not like
celebrate
celebrating
afterward
a
after
merge of
you've
families.
given me a present to be here as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like
Like-
I just don't care for that.
So true. That's so true. I feel like other cultures, like, it really brings the idea of merging families together,
Yes.
Yes.
like,
And I
into the
love
I
that.
think
wedding,
that's the
into the
biggest
ceremony.
thing.
And I
Is
feel like, oh, go ahead.
it's also like a multi-day event,
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Which is so
not just
fun.
like a one day
Hmm.
6
That would
hour
be so
thing.
fun. I would love
No,
that.
it's like a whole week.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a big
Different.
deal.
It's
It
insane.
is a big deal.
Yeah.
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 Like that I totally understand. Setting aside money and like
Because you need
wanting, yeah, you do need it. And like wanting something like fun and elaborate for your
Yeah.
child. Like that makes sense. But I don't know. Like, you know, like thinking about a wedding and just like it sounds so boring and so like,
this is what
you
you do
know,
and this is how
like
it's done.
like you wake up, the bride and the groom and the parties all get ready. You take pictures, you go to the ceremony, you get married, then you sit down, you do toast, you do blah, blah, and then at the very, very end, for like the last 2 hours,
If you have
then you can
energy.
get up and dance. Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't this supposed to be a party, a celebration? Like, why are we
Yeah,
just
which is totally why, like, especially because, like, the ceremony part, I feel like isn't like the enjoyable part for anybody. Let's be
no, and
real, for
it's
anybody,
so short.
and it's
There's
so
like
short. Go do a
20
courthouse
minutes
thing, and then
usually.
throw this huge reception after. Have fun, like spend time with people, like
Right.
make it a celebration. The ceremony
Right.
part, we're good. We're
Yeah.
chilling.
Yeah.
Go have fun. Spend your energy there.
Yeah. Like have games, have good food, like just places where you can all where you talk. Like I've read so many stories of brides who are like, I barely got to talk to anyone on my wedding day. It's like,
Mm.
what is literally the point then?
Or like the people who are like, I haven't eaten and it's been hours.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nah, you better bet your bottom I'm eating on my wedding day because if I'm paying for that food, it's gonna be in
Going
my
in my
tummy.
mouth first.
like, like it's
I'm
gonna be in my tummy.
Fair.
It's gonna be there. No other option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's my other thing though is I feel like I don't really get the tradition of like talking with every single guest at your wedding. Like ideally the people at your wedding are people you already interact with on a yearly basis. I'm interacting with you at some point in life. I mean like saying congratulations, yeah, like we can do that, but I don't need to sit here and have like a whole like 5-10 minute conversation with you and
Yeah.
like
Oh
catch
no.
up. My
Yeah.
wedding is not a social hour.
Yeah.
You can figure that out with other people, other guests at the wedding. We're not socializing like that.
Yeah.
Like, did you see this person I just got married to? This is who's my focus is on.
Yeah.
That and the cake.
And you can say your heartfelt stuff in something that I've set up for you to do.
Yes.
Right.
I can
Yeah.
react
Which
to it and
honestly,
be
I love the
emotional about.
idea of the little like videos.
Yeah.
Oh, like you record
Like I
your own
did.
video?
Like,
Yeah, like you
Just a
record your own
video.
like little like video and so instead of like writing something in a book.
yeah. No, I think that's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think guest books are like you have to be creative with them. Like they have to be something you actually because I feel like someone just signing a book, I'm not ever gonna look back at that.
No, you won't.
Ever.
Why would you?
Ever.
Why would
It's
you?
like, oh, I have your signature.
Right.
I'm famous now. Wow.
I know.
Like
I
but
mean, it's
yeah.
also like to like leave your address and stuff like that for like a thank you card and whatnot. But
Your
You sent the
thanks
wedding
isn't-
invites out. Shouldn't you have it already?
That too. And if they RSVP,
that's
they
true.
would be it.
Question mark.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
But I
Maybe
do like the idea of like little videos where they can like do a video and then you can just have that. Like that would be fun.
Yeah.
And then if you have like a videographer or something, they can like
String it
incorporate
together.
the
Mhm.
clips into like that would
Yeah.
be cute.
It'd be cute.
Yeah.
So anyhow, now that we've settled on weddings, I feel like we shouldn't keep going. This is a long episode.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Then you will have to catch us next time for every other stage that comes after wedding.
Wedding.
Whoa. I don't know how many stages that is, but it sounds like
Yeah,
a
at least
lot.
honeymoon, children, minivan, because we all know there's a minivan stage for most families. Buying houses, retirement.
Empty nesting.
Not in this order, by the way.
At
Because
retirement
if
age.
you are,
Vacationing with children. Like, how does that
Having
work?
children, getting babysitters, who if stays at home parents. Yes, all to come in the next episode of our rebrand. Episode 33.
Wow.
Wow.
That kids, we're over and out.
Yep.
See you next time. You
Have
don't
a
want to
great
miss
weekend.
it.
And a great week.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in. See you all next week.
Peace out.